Good morning, everybody, and welcome to video number 1. This is going to be a little bit different because this is another royal couple, and they seem to be having the same issues as Harry and Meghan. It's almost like the exact same thing in reverse. This is very interesting. So I want to cover this really quickly. It's really an update to a previous story I did. So let's just jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. The person you're looking at is Martha Louise, Princess Martha Louise of Norway. She is a private businesswoman and alternative therapist, okay? So she had her own alternative therapy center known as Angel School, which focused on, get this, clairvoyance and communication with angels and communication with the dead. She was married to a writer and visual artist from 2002 to 2017. They were divorced and he removed himself from this earth. In 2019, she publicly announced that she was in a romantic relationship and a professional collaboration with Durek Verrett, who, by the way, is a conspiracy theorist. He describes himself as a shaman. He has been in prison. His rap sheet includes convictions for felony arson, trespassing, theft of services, riding public transportation without paying fares, which is fare evasion, for which he spent more time in jail. He had a sham marriage to a woman of Czech nationality to try to get her a green card. He's been accused of harassment, non-payment of rent, making threats of murder and black magic. And he was arrested for domestic violence against his fiancé, Hank Greenberg. Yes, that's a man. Now, she lost her Royal Highness, her HRH in 2002 because in Norway, she was claiming to be clairvoyant and she was exploiting her constitutional role and title as princess commercially. So there were a lot of calls for her to lose her title. She became very unpopular in Norway. She had a very antagonistic relationship with the media. Who does that sound like? She has been called Princess Plenty More of Have It All. Oh my God. Because she continues to use her title of princess while promoting alternative beliefs commercially. Again, who does that sound like? So in 2019, the royal court put their foot down and said she is no longer going to use her title of princess in her business activities as a clairvoyant. And in 2022, she relinquished her remaining royal duties to concentrate on alternative medicine. You should know that she and this guy Durek actually sold medallions online that were supposed to ward off COVID-19. The Norwegian Consumer Ombudsman said that his undocumented claims were a violation of Norwegian law. So in 2023, they stopped selling that product, but then he started selling another medallion that he claims can cure dogs of various ailments, and that has been criticized by the Norwegian Veterinary Association because it's not based on science. Now, the former Prime Minister of Norway says that the ideas that he promotes is something that we combat as conspiracy theorists. The Secretary of the State of Norway said that this man is an unscrupulous, dangerous charlatan who engages in fraud. And in 2023, the Norwegian Prime Minister condemned him, calling his statements on child rearing dangerous. So he had a podcast called Ancient Wisdom Today, and he openly discussed him and this princess's sex life. And then the two of them co-organized a seminar that was titled The Princess and the Shaman. Now, it was very widely criticized for the claims made by this man about healing cancer and exploiting her constitutional role as princess for private business ventures. It just got worse. Now, of course, when all of this is going on, he claimed that he was being criticized because people don't want a black man in the royal family. He said, I've never had so much racism as when I came to Norway, and I'm misunderstood. That's really what it is. Now, with all of this going on, the king and queen finally stepped in and they had a meeting, and these two went on TV and had some things to say to the public. So I'm going to let you hear now what I put up for you guys a year ago. Here we go. Norway's Princess Martha Louise she's saying she's relinquishing her royal duties to focus on her alternative medicine business with her fiancé, who is a man who is a self-styled shaman. Now, this man has promoted unfounded medical practices and even suggested that cancer was a choice. Yep. Now, so the guy has said a lot of things. Okay, so here's what it comes down to. The royal family put their foot down after watching this whole Harry-Meghan debacle. So they put out a statement. Watch this. This is part one.
Every time a person in the royal family gets engaged, it creates media storms. So also this time. From the last month's discussions in the media, my fiancé, Durek Barrett, and I have, together with the King and Queen and the rest of the royal family, landed on some adjustments. I will step down from my official duties as patron for various organizations. My heart goes out to the organizations and the wonderful people I've met through representing them for several decades, and the important work they do. There will be someone else from the royal family continuing my patronage. I will continue the separation between my princess title and my role as a businesswoman, where I only use Martha Louise on social media, media productions and such, and Durek is following suit. First of all, I would like to emphasize that there has been no discord within the royal family through this process. We have embraced each other's opinions and views in an amicable fashion, with respect and love for one another. I would also like to clarify the fact that when in the future we do get married, like my uncles Erling Lorentzen, Johan Martin Ferner, and my late husband Ari Ben, Durek will not receive a title. True to tradition, he will also not represent the royal house, but will be present at family occasions and some occasional sport events.
Anybody else notice the snarkiness in that tone? I think the royal family saw what happened with Harry and Meghan, put their foot down and said, no. Now, this man has been described as a charlatan. He's been described as a con man. He's been described as a conspiracy theorist, and people are saying that his views are strange and they're not based on facts. Now, before anybody starts screaming, it's because he's African American, you should know that he has claimed to have risen from the dead, that he says he predicted the 9/11 attacks 2 years before they happened, and he has compared himself to the likes of Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison, saying they were geniuses and misunderstood. Okay, people, this guy's nuts. He says he's a visionary for the now age. Okay, well then he made a statement. Listen to this.
I have always wanted to support my fiancée, Martha Louise, and I want her to be happy. If her life has become difficult because of some of the things that I have done, then that was never my intention. The same goes for her parents, the King and Queen. I want them to be successful in the important roles that they have. I have, through the conversations with the family, learned a lot. I've gained a deeper understanding of the work of the royal family in Norway, and I respect their constitutional role. I know that some of the things I have said and done have been seen as controversial in Norway. Some have even argued that this has become a problem for the monarchy. I want to make it clear that this was never my intention. I wish Martha's family well, and I want to do my part to support them in their roles. At the same time, it is important for me to maintain my own integrity and to be true to myself. I, like everyone else, have a right to autonomy, to determine what I believe in and to speak up about it. I hope what Martha and I and the royal family have agreed on will create the space necessary for this balance to work and to be more robust. I also want to clarify that I am for the School of Medicine and always have been, because I have seen several occasions in my life where I've been saved by the School of Medicine, and I have great respect for the institution and for the people working in the healthcare system. I honor and respect them for what they do. However, I do believe that we should always use all available resources for health on our planet, not instead of, but in addition to the healthcare system.
Well, then the princess made one more statement to try to, I don't know, prove her point about her fiancé. Listen to this.
I have a background from the healthcare system as a physiotherapist and know the importance of scientifically proven healthcare. In addition to that, I think alternative medicine can be an important supplement to the school medicine for many people. Acupuncture, yoga, meditations, crystals, and nature medicine can be a supplement in addition to the healthcare system for better mental and physical health. And it is in the bridging of the two, like having acupuncture in maternity wards in hospitals, as many parts of the country has as an asset, or using horses as part of psychiatric treatment, like at Gettr Hospital here in Oslo. I want to continue like I have for the last 20 years. I hope these steps will lead to a calmer and more peaceful environment regarding my fiancé, Durek Rd, and myself.
In other words, ladies and gentlemen, the royal family put the kibosh on it and said, you're still a princess because you're still our daughter. But no, you cannot use your title for commercial gain. You're not allowed to marry this man and use your royal titles to push his narrative. Ain't happening. I love that the royal family, stopped all this. I do. And it's been reported that the king had a press conference after the statement and said, the Americans have no idea what a monarchy is. So it's not surprising that he doesn't understand. He thought he could do what he wanted without any of us being affected. Americans don't understand the significance. I agree. So the wedding date was finally set after a 2-year engagement. They decided they would be married on August 31st of 2024, okay? Now, in April of 2024, something bad happened. The princess got into a fight with her future mother-in-law because the mother-in-law said that Durek was not from a wealthy family. And she said, the former classmate said he was one of the richest in the school. I don't know why the princess cares that he grew up wealthy, but the family is saying that's not true. Now, the mother said that her son is dangerous and he has brainwashed the princess. This guy also said that his mother once told him that she first saw him marrying a Norwegian princess, and the mother said that's absolutely not true. That's just a story he made up. Now, in a bid to prove that she's marrying somebody who grew up wealthy, the princess put up a picture of a house that was listed for over $3 million the last time it was on the market and said, look, this is where he grew up. Apparently, in December of 2020, this guy told Vanity Fair he was the son of a wealthy architect and his family had owned private planes and servants. She was actually asked about her decision in comparison with Harry and Meghan, and she said that her family is amazing because the dialogue between them has remained open, and she made her decision and they worked out the details. What she forgot to mention was that she stuck to the agreement. She didn't make money off the titles. The family said you can't make money off the titles. She said okay, and she didn't do it. She also hasn't given interviews and written books trashing her family or calling them names. Now, among some of his other claims is that children can get cancer from being unhappy, that while he recovered from a month-long coma, he did it by letting his soul burn. He said he spoke of having to undergo a kidney transplant from his sister as a child. Nobody's even been made aware of any of this. Now, I told you he claimed racism earlier, and I have to tell you that the former Norwegian cabinet minister accused him of playing the race card to distract from the criticism of his conspiracy theories and his dangerous views. And a comedian, Joan Stome of African American descent, said that his claims undermine the real fight against racism, and the people in Norway react negatively to him because he's a con man who says terrible things. Believe it or not, he did work as an American spiritual guide. He had Gwyneth Paltrow, James Van Der Beek, all kinds of stuff. Just as an FYI, this man claims he will be the first black person to become a part of a European royal family, but Sudanese citizen Mary Ring Macha married into the Austrian House of Habsburg in 1999, Angela Brown married into the House of Liechtenstein in 2000, and Meghan Markle married into the British royal family in 2018. There you go. So the wedding is still coming up. It's supposed to take place in about a month and a half or 2 months from now. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I think this guy's a con man. I think she's been conned. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button and the subscribe button and follow me over to video number 2. Let's go.